it's remarkable that Buddha and maybe other mystics were able to get this information, whatever it was, 500 BC, to many, many years ago. So it's like you have this inner space station. So we're spending, through science, we're spending billions of dollars to get this information. One's getting it from these mystical insights for free, of course.
It's not free.
Oh, not
it's
free.
Not free. It costs life. It costs life.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
It costs life. It's not free.
I see. Okay, fair enough. Yes, fair enough. Yeah.
Dollars come from somewhere else. Life goes waste. Yes. Looking at these things.
But to me, this is an important point about the link between science and spirituality. One thinks of them as being opposed. From my perspective, they're both studying the physical universe, and they can both be applied to study the physical universe from an outer perspective and from the inner perspective. Well, if it's the same truth, if it's the same universe they're looking at, there has to be agreement. There has to be concordance. And I think that's remarkable. That I know there's been a tradition of inner science in Indian philosophy for many years, thousands of years, but in Western philosophy, the focus is all on outer science. And I think part of this union between science and spirituality will be the realization that inner science and outer science must merge. I have to say personally, I've never had I'm not a very spiritually evolved person, and I know I'm not going to become enlightened in this life.
Why do you say that? You're trying to destroy my work.
No.
Because my work is to make sure that everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, the possibility is always there. Will you invest in the possibility or not? That's left to individuals. But if you say it's not possible, then you're trying to destroy my work. Don't do that.
Well, if by becoming enlightened I can justify your work, I will strive to become enlightened. Yeah.
No, sir. This is a wrong sense of the term spirituality spreading around in the world.
Okay.
To be spiritual, you need not be going to a temple, church or mosque. You need not be praying, you need not be meditating, nothing. It is just that if you're sincere enough, I'm using the word sincere because if you're sincere enough, you know you don't know a damn thing. That means your intelligence is always seeking. If you keep yourself that way, you're spiritual.
Okay.
So I've not given up on you.
Oh, thank you. Mathematics is the language of God, it is sometimes said. On the other hand, I know that Rumi said that the language of God is silence. I love the cosmic Ouroboros because it encapsulates all the triumph of physics in coming to understand the physical universe. But of course the most interesting aspect of the Ouroboros is where the head meets the tail. The head corresponds to the universe, and we know how big the universe is, 10 to the 27 centimeters, and the tail corresponds to the Planck scale, 10 to the minus 33 centimeters. Well, those are only the biggest and smallest scales as we understand it. Really, what those scales represent, it's infinity and zero. Okay, the largest scale is infinity and the smallest scale is zero, and of course we reduce them to finite amounts so we can understand them. The top of the Ouroboros is where infinity meets zero. Now, the symbol of the Ouroboros is like a zero, you remember, because from my perspective at least, at the top of the Ouroboros, that may be the end of physics as we understand it, but actually, from my perspective, that is where mind and spirit come in. And so that from my perspective, if we want to have an extension of physics, it's there at the top of the Ouroboros that we're going to somehow find mind and spirit. And maybe from a cosmological perspective, that is where the universe has come from. because if you believe that mind in some sense was prior to matter, you must find it there at the top of the Ouroboros, precisely where your zero and your infinity meet.